Welcome to the channel, some random casual gameplay right before we get into the action. I still don't have a light while I have my steering wheel plugged in. It's like one or the other. But I'm not the main focal point of the video anyways, and I'll keep saying that. So I started my journey right at the border of Colorado and New Mexico here, right in Raton. And I am making my way through Texas here. Okay, this is Oklahoma. We just missed the Oklahoma border there. I'm right here in Armadillo, Texas, making my way just a little wee bits east of Houston. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I got my stuff locked at 50 because when I record with OBS, that'll suck up a little bit of power. And I am noticing, and I can't get away from it, that the 400% scaling to make things even sharper, you can read the description of what it does there. It's essentially giving you like a false 4K sensation. Just things are sharper. And of course, I will appreciate that, especially in this game. When it comes to SSAO, that I've got disabled. But everything else is right up there. I mean, reflection scaling. I don't really care to have upgraded reflection scalings. Anything that could be ultra, I decided to try, such as shadows. I even have far shadows and weather quality on ultra. Anisotropic filtering, just everything cranked. Pedestrians are on. I did turn the traffic down. You might be wondering how. That's in a config file that I did that. The 1.0 is the default, and I have it set to 0.5. So we just chop it down in half. Gives me a little bit of wiggle room is essentially what's going on. And because I'm running OBS and my hardware is starting to get a little bit older, even though it should be more than enough for what I'm doing here in American Truck Simulator, leaving it at 50, it just gives me that wiggle room. Like I said, sometimes I'll dip to 57 or 56. It's kind of hard for me to get right down to 60 continuously, and that I find jarring. Playing at 50, honestly, I can't tell the difference between it and 60. When I'm on my phone, like when I was on, whether it's an iPhone or a Samsung phone, and I turn off the 120 hertz, refresh rate, and I'm scrolling through stuff really fast, boom, 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 and I drop it down to 60, heaven forbid, yeah, of course I notice a difference. I just don't care about that difference, right? But for a game like this where you're not scrolling super fast, I'll argue, not that you won't notice the difference, that it's really not that big of a deal. So I'm having fun is the main thing. I'd rather the little extra eye candy things being sharper. So yeah, there's no doubt that 4K would be nice, but it's not the end-all, be-all for me. I much prefer ultra settings, really far draw distance. Look at those street lights, like 3-4 streets down that I can see way in the distance. Some other games wouldn't even have that, or it would look all like weird and it would be blinking and stuff like that. That's the sort of stuff that drives me crazy. So if I can have 1080p, rock solid 60 FPS with ultra settings, that to me is what matters. I shouldn't be texting and driving, but this is a fake game. I'm actually recording right now, thanks. Anyways. So now, I'm going to pay attention to all those little details. Watching my FPS. Yeah, it helps if I watched a red light. I also did decide to... I'm sorry. Do the thing with the... oh, I can't even speak properly today. The speed limit. I did decide to put it back on. But interestingly enough, it's supposed to lock... Hey, where are you going? Interestingly enough, it's supposed to lock, if I'm not mistaken, 65 miles an hour, which I think is like, I can't remember the math, but I remember looking it up, and it was like 90 kilometers an hour, because you multiply by 2.2? 1.6, sorry, 2.2 is kilograms and pounds. It's 1.6. So 100 miles an hour is 160 kilometers an hour. Anyhow, my truck will go to 105 kilometers an hour, which is cool. And if I were to ever do, the online thing, well, I wouldn't have much of a choice anyways. That would be on by default. So as long as it keeps me a little over 100 kilometers an hour. I'm good with that. Really. Like, that's pretty good stuff there. I got the force feedback down, but enough that I can feel everything. And the idea behind that is because of my new sit-stand desk. I don't want to be reefing on my desk, making it go up and down and knock over my monitor. It wouldn't be that bad. I don't like strong force feedback anyways. I would much prefer have the sit-stand desk that I have and have the ability to stand up and game. I've thought of moving the screen a little bit more towards me and having a separate cheap desk underneath, like just so I can hook my steering wheel to it. But honestly, this is fine for me. Totally fine. So 1.51 is out for beta, that is, testing with the new menu screen. A couple other things I just haven't really bothered looking at. And it was like, yeah, it seems cool, but I remembered what happened the last time I went on a beta. And I had a hard time reverting back for some reason. And I was like, you know what? Oh, you lose your progress. So if I were to end up dumping 50 hours into it, I think that's what ends up happening, is you lose that... I shouldn't... Yeah, whatever. Is you end up losing your progress. And I'm like, I've already lost my progress before. I don't want to get into that again. Kind of all over the place here. I do get distracted. Good thing this is just a video game. So yeah, so I've been a lot less lazy lately, you know, playing this game, because to me it's just one of the greatest things ever for relaxing and just chatting about random stuff. I'll try, obviously, not to get too political and stuff like that, but sometimes there's just some wild stuff going on in the news. I'll share one thing with you, which isn't going to make you roll your eyes. Well, it'll make you roll your eyes, but not because of what I have to say about it, because I still don't know all the details. I'm reading some conflicting stuff about it. But allegedly, the UK police can extradite Americans, good thing I'm Canadian, if you say something offensive online on social media. But upon further investigation, it appears as though that is only true if it's something extreme, like, you know, I don't even want to say the words because then that can flag YouTube. But if you do some really naughty stuff that's not good, like, I mean really not good stuff, they can come after you and then you'll serve time in the UK. Some people are saying they're, like, potentially exaggerating, I'm pretty sure. And they're making it sound like if you're like, yeah, I don't know what the hell kind of haircut that is, man, but that's disgusting, or just something simple like that, they're not going to extradite you for that. Some people will say that. I don't really believe that. I haven't seen anything to believe that. But it's still going around on the news. It's a pretty big topic of conversation. Naturally, I find those things intriguing. But what I do find more intriguing than the news itself is how people get so emotional and overwhelmed with their emotions when discussing these matters, especially with people that they don't agree with or that don't agree with them. It's just completely, like, baffles me. I just thought that was interesting. But then I was like, you know what? I don't want to just stay on here, like on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I just want to have some fun. I'm like, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I want to enjoy myself. I mean, I enjoy Twitter, X. I'll always call it Twitter and tweeting, just because it sounds cool, and I missed a tweet bird from Twitter. I've said this joke before, and I'm gonna beat it like a dead horse. Why would you even want to beat a horse, whether it's dead or... Anyways. But saying, oh, I was Xing on X, it just sounds very raunchy and weird. Doesn't have a flow or a ring to it whatsoever, in my opinion. So that's why I'm probably going to forever call it Twitter. Again, another topic of conversation on that platform, where people are getting upset and they're like, you know, it's not called Twitter anymore, right? It's X now. I don't care what it's called. So I'm going to call it what I want. People still know what I'm talking about. But aside from all that, and the wicked rainstorm I got yesterday, I am having a blast with the new desk. Truthfully, even with all this driving, there's like no wobble. Because what it is with a sit-stand desk, if you've ever looked at one, very few sit-stand desks will have like the 4 legs at each corner, which I've talked about in some of my other videos, right? What you'll end up having is you'll have a bar on the ground that goes all the way across from front to back, right? But then at the back, you'll have obviously your bar, the one bar, and it comes up like this again, like a C shape. They call it like a C shape. And then your desktop goes on it, the top of your desk. Please pull in, we want to weigh you. They want to fat shame my truck. This is ridiculous. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so naturally, if you were to like tap or be a little heavy duty on your desk, sure, it'll shake, rattle, and roll a little bit, but not enough to start knocking things over. This isn't made out of paper mache here. But the trade-off is absolutely amazing for me having to be slightly more careful, if you want to use that word. I can't have uncontrolled force feedback on my steering wheel playing these games on console like Fernbus or Alaskan Road Truckers. I can't play those games anymore on my console with the steering wheel. So it just forces me to have to stick with the PC, which PC has a greater variety anyways. There's more options, there's more games like this one. You're not getting this on console. So this is where I have to be to get the best for me. There's just nowhere else to go. So I do that. I'm having fun. But at some point, I'll have to get like actually, I do have one. I don't even know why I don't use it, and it's USB 3 as well. I could just use the hub. You know, the USB port at the front of some of your people's computer. I don't know what this is. At the top of the tower, I have one port that works. The other one was never connected. It's a USB-C. I could just temporarily put a hub in there while I'm recording, just for the sake of this game, anything with the steering wheel. Otherwise, I'm in the dark while I'm driving, and then all the other games I can just plug in my cheap dollar store light. Because I do have a USB light, which I am tempted to use, but it does take up a little bit of space, I suppose, with the, you know, the plate. So I have a big microphone stand that I brought the bar down, only about this tall. And on it, I got my DSLR camera with the scope. And on the scope, I just plop the dollar store ring light, and it works great. Remember, it's not on right now, but it works great. But I also have an Elgato light that's Wi-Fi, but it needs a power plug, whereas this one doesn't need the power plug, but it needs my USB. So it's just one of those things where, yes, proper lighting is nice. I could potentially probably have it behind my desk, and I'll probably do that at some point when I'm not so lazy to connect it. But then I think I'm forced to have Wi-Fi on my computer, which I normally turn off because my connection to my computer is wired. It's hardwired. So, yeah. Might have to make a few adjustments. Like I said, I got my PS5 on my left, and then I've got the computer on my right, and it looks clean. Everything's white and neat. Same with the table. But if I have to, what I'll do is I'll move my PlayStation right next to my computer. I could make that happen more than likely. There is room. And then where my PlayStation used to be up against the wall, I can just have that light, like I said, and turn it on. Still save myself the USB port, have a Wi-Fi light. Something extra I gotta plug in, though. Because I do have a lot of stuff plugged in, right? I got monitors, studio speakers. I always get these mixed up. No, that's my high beams. The top one is my emergency lights, or not the emergency, the caution lights. I can't tell. But it's starting to get dark. And I do have a whopping 800 kilometers. That's like 10 miles. No, I got a good like 550, 600 miles or whatever to do here. I'm definitely not doing all that right now. Honestly, what I'm probably going to do is once it starts getting really dark, that we can't really see what I'm doing anyways. I could potentially sleep, but I don't like doing that because then it makes the job, your timer, right? It runs out. And unlike in the game Alaskan Road Truckers, it's too bad you can't just turn around and sleep in your truck. Don't tell me you can do that. Watch somebody be like, you can already do that. I don't think you can. I think it'd be pretty damn cool if you could do that. But yes, you can sleep in your truck, but I'm talking about like not having to go to a resting spot, like on the map that I just saw there. I just want to be able to pull off to the side of the road wherever I want and do that. And what feels good is pedal to the metal, rather than trying to keep my foot halfway up in the air. Just floor it, and as you can see, I'm doing the straight 105 kilometers an hour, which I think is roughly 60 miles an hour. You know what? I'm just gonna look it up. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna look this up. We're gonna go to options. Well, we're not going. I'll go to options while you watch me do it. And I'm gonna go to gameplay. And there, right there. Route, no, that's route advisor, speed limit. Map alignment, heavy cargo warning screen, fatigue simulation, traffic offense. Yeah, I turned those off. Rain probability. Invert mouse, truck settings. Truck speed limiter. Right there. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, I was right. Truck speed limiter. So enables the truck electronic speed limiter of 90 kilometers an hour / 65 miles an hour. World of Trucks jobs have this feature permanently turned on. So 90 kilometers an hour. But I'm able to squeeze in somehow an extra 15, which is like an extra 9, almost 10 miles an hour more. And for me, the difference between 90 and 105 may not be that big of a deal, but it's just enough over that threshold. Like this is 105. Let me do 90. Well, that's not 90. Let me do 90. 90 is this here. Yeah, everybody's just whizzing by you. It's ridiculous. There, this is the 90 right here. Like this. This is 90. Okay, we're driving 90. But now if I step on it and go a little bit faster, not everybody's going to be passing me as much. And it's just enough of a sensation that I'm like, yeah, this is a nice little speed. I got something in my eye. That I don't mind the speed limiter. Like I said, having to keep my leg up was more annoying than anything. Whoa. There, I signaled. That's why I don't like doing that third thing. There we go. High beams. Just to be a jackass. Oh, police is there. Yeah, seeing 105, it's just pretty smooth. And I do like the nights and stuff like that. It's not too bad, but naturally it's going to be a little bit harder to see, you know, the details of the world and everything. Which is why I usually don't like recording much at night. But it's part of the experience. If this was made with like Unreal Engine 5 or something where you could still see, but, you know, it was more like photorealistic. Oh, yeah, I would love to do that. Driving at night in the rain. That would be delicious. It would be pretty sweet. Hey, how'd he go through those magical arrows? Oh, got one dip. And I felt it too, which is why I looked. It's like, hey, hey, hey. I saw that 49 FPS. just for a minute second. That's okay. That's it. I'm going to have to change it to 49. No, I had it at 45 because it's that happy medium between 30 and 60. But I was like, no, let me push the envelope here. Leave it at 50. I play Fernbus at 30. And I also play Alaskan Road Truckers at 30. And it's not an issue. I could go right now and buy a computer that would run it at 4K 60 FPS. But honestly, I don't think I would get my money's worth. It wouldn't be that amazing over what I'm already experiencing, is what I'm saying. When I really, really need to upgrade, I'll do it. Oh, they pulled someone over. Naughty, naughty. But yeah, this is just such great fun. I sometimes turn the lights off to my room when I'm in here, playing in the dark, like literally at night. Just sets the vibe, right? Otherwise, if I got all these bright lights and shit, it looks like a hospital operation room. It's kind of screwing up with my vibe. But yeah, this game I can definitely play for a long time at a time. I may find it difficult to continuously find some shit to keep verbally diarrheaing out of my mouth. Did that even make any sense? It made sense to me. I'll start running out of stuff to say. I think I ran out of stuff to say when I first started recording. I never know what to say in these games. Like, okay, we can see the stars. Okay, looks like that truck up ahead, 60 feet. Just took a right. Okay, awesome. Wonder where he's going. Like, what do you say, right? It's not something you learn. You just either know what to say or you don't. And I generally, as I mentioned, usually will talk about the game that I'm playing. While I'm playing it, I'll talk about it. But this is one of those games, like I said, where I kind of like to go, so, about the election. I like throwing random wild stuff that's going on in the world, and without it always having to be so divisive, right? It doesn't have to be. We don't have to get that hog wild over having people having different opinions. Oh, and the bus was another one that I started playing a little bit more now, because at 30 FPS on high graphics, I'm able to run it for the most part, and it runs pretty good. Like, it's fairly smooth. Because you're driving a bus at like 30, 40 miles an hour, if even that. In most of the city, you're driving at like 25, 30 miles an hour. You don't need 120 FPS for that. You might, but I definitely don't. Yeah, see, now it's like really, really dark. You could still hear like the ambient noises. I like that. It's really cool. That big green screen, by the way, on the truck there, Kenworth W900. Am I not able to get my speed on there? I feel like that's wasted real estate, and I can't even change what's there. And I don't want to have to use a mod to do it either. But I have been playing this truck because it's basically one of my favorite trucks ever. But I will have to experiment with other trucks just because it's been well over a year since I've driven other trucks. I want to see what else out there I enjoy. And then from there, I may potentially give another truck a go. Nobody would be allowed to drive this truck. I only have a few people that work for me, because that whole money thing, like I said, I had gotten really far before. And something happened. Oh yeah, my save got screwed up because of that whole thing at the time where if you had mods and you deleted the mods without uninstalling them or something like that. I can't remember the details specifically, but it completely froze and ruined the game. So I had to start over. And then I used a Wii mod, a trainer, and I just went ding, 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 ding. And I gave myself a bunch of money to just get back what I had before, and I haven't used that in over a year. So the money that I got now, I want to be able to find a legit way to get a lot more money. Some people say it's a waste of time to have, you know, the workers. Some other people are saying they're pulling like millions of dollars a week or a month or whatever with it. Doesn't seem like much of a waste for them. But then some others say they don't have any workers and they're just making that much money on their own. Now this kind of stuff here with all these bridges going all over the place, I know that these happen, these exist. But I've never experienced them in person. And I mean, I've driven all over North America, north of North America and Canada and the northern United States for the most part. But I've never been super down south yet to experience watching all this kind of stuff. Looks like it would be a little bit interesting and potentially overwhelming if you don't have a map or a GPS. But then again, if you just read the signs, you should be fine, right? Like, hey, I'm going to Dallas. Maybe I should go here. Yeah, so I'm going to find somewhere here in just a moment to park. I'm good on gas. And then on my own, I'm going to look through my different trucks when I'm done. This job is worth like $120,000. Yeah, see, speed limit 70. Technically, I should be able to go an extra couple of kilometers, but it won't allow you. It's too bad the governor, as I've mentioned before, if you want to call it that, it's too bad you can't set what you want it to lock to for the speed limiter. I would probably have it set at 110, honestly, or even 115 at the absolute most. Just that little bit extra, but I'm glad it's not 90. Like I said, I'm glad it's not 90 and it's 105. And to be honest, 105 might be 70 miles an hour. I don't know, and I'm about to find out. I'm gonna park here on the side of the road. See, there's still a lot of traffic. Yeah, we're gonna park right here where it's nice and safe. I'm gonna pull out the there's the calculator. So 70 miles an hour divided by 1.6. That's the other way around. 70 multiplied by 1.6 is 112. So I would be allowed to go from 105 to 112. Yeah, I wish I could do that, but it won't let me. I'm not going to nitpick. It's quite okay. I'm having a lot of fun. And that's ultimately, really, truthfully, all that frickin' matters in any of this stuff. I almost accidentally stopped my recording. Let me alt-tab. Yeah, almost a half hour. So this... Oh, you can still see me well enough. That's good enough. Alright, thumbs up as always if you liked the video. Look at that beautiful truck. It's awesome. Kenworth W900. But look at that bad boy. Like, it's just... If I was rich, I would buy one just because. I'd be like, look at my truck, and I would deck it all out, make it look all nice with, you know, the chrome trim, the lights, kind of like what I did in the game. I was just driving around. Oh, you truck for a living? Nah, I just, you know, just drive and burn gas. Trying to leave my carbon footprint. Because one day if they make these trucks, you know, electric, that should be illegal. It really is. You know, some of the cars, they can go electric, but leave Mustangs alone, and, you know, muscle cars and trucks, leave them alone. I saw a Ford F-150 Lightning, like a $100,000 truck, and it's electric, and it went by me, and all I heard was zzz. Sounded like a bumblebee that his heart was about to explode. I was like, what the hell was that? I'm just saying. Yeah, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And if I'm lucky, maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.